Young, Dumb, Broke podcast.
I'm Young, Dumb, and Broke, and this is Alex.
Hi, I'm the Alex in this equation, though she's misrepresenting herself. She's not young. Well, she is young. She's not dumb.
That's
though.
rude.
Whoa,
I'm not young.
Okay. I was trying to say
You're
that
starting
you're not.
the podcast
you're
off saying
not dumb.
You're an old, decrepit little hag, Taylor.
Decrepit. Okay,
That's crazy.
Wait, hold on. Don't. Never mind. We're not going to get into the thing that you talk about all the time with your joints. They're not good, right?
Oh, so now we're talking about my joints.
I was going to say
So now
you're not dumb.
You called me old.
Now you're
you called
cornering
me dumb.
Okay.
You called me broke, and now you're calling me
I'm a
bad
ferocious
joints?
tiger. You don't want to back me into a corner. You don't want to back me
I've
into a
got
corner.
really great joints. they just hurt all the time, and my doctor says that they're bad, and then I'm gonna have to have lots of surgeries.
It's okay.
But other than that, they're really great. They're better than everyone else's.
I mean, the fact that you ran half. Never mind. We're not going to do the whole she ran half a marathon before. We've done this already. We're not going to return to that talking point from last time, though it is impressive, especially with everything. So last time we opened with a frustration. We're going to do it again this time. And I have a frustration. You have a frustration. You want to go first?
I would love to go first.
Solid. Okay.
My frustration. Wait, don't you have an icebreaker first?
I didn't have an icebreaker for this one.
You're
You
supposed
want?
to have an icebreaker.
Oh, I didn't bring an icebreaker. You want to do the
It's your
icebreaker? I have
job
one
to
for the
have an
next one.
icebreaker.
I have one for the next
I
one.
don't have an icebreaker.
Well, you don't have, yeah, we were not going to do an icebreaker this time. We're going to do a frustration.
So then I'm doing frustration.
Yeah, you can do frustration first. Let's do it. 100%.
Okay. So
It's okay. So we actually had a conversation before this. We were outlining, and then we thought it's going to be a little bit too structured. We're not going to have that nice little flow going back and forth. Turns out we don't need it. We don't need
a flow.
Yeah,
Apparently, we do need a flow. Okay.
No, we're
so
good.
my frustration of the week. I have an intern. She's not a frustration. She's actually really great. She started this past week or 2 weeks ago, and her name's Maya. She seems really like she's going to do a really great job. I was showing my intern how to do something on the laptop. I was walking her through a very intense writing guide, making sure she understood everything.
Oh yeah, it's all about the writing.
It's
guide.
very
Yeah.
intense,
Oh, God.
and I was editing her work to be standard to our like writing manual,
Our
to make sure it's
template
up
and
to- I was
everything,
showing
yeah,
her
yeah.
on the laptop, and as I was doing this, as I was finishing up, I talk with my hands a lot. I'm a hand talking person. Almost said I was handsy. I'm not handsy. I'm a hand talking person.
No. Least handsy person in the office.
And yes, least handsy person. That's what they all say. And I reach over and I spill a whole glass of tea into my laptop.
Oh yeah. No. Yep.
And this was Monday. It was how I started my
Yep.
day. I started my week this week was spilling an entire glass of tea, like 16-ounce cup, into my laptop. And immediately, like I've spilled things before on my laptop, not this laptop and not a work laptop, but I spilled things before and I've like, aired it out and like dried it was fine.
Exactly. It keeps on going like a good little workhorse.
Immediately, this laptop, it goes black.
Yeah, it said, nope, I'm out for the day.
Yeah,
I'm gone. Not happening.
Not happening. And it turns black, and I take it to tech, y'all.
Yeah.
And y'all say,
Yeah, it's kind of
Sucks.
cooked. Our big solution, besides just letting it sit, was flip it upside down and have a napkin underneath it. So we thought it was gone.
and it still didn't work.
Yeah,
It
it
still
was.
doesn't work.
Yeah,
You
it
thought
didn't
it was
return.
gone, and then you were correct.
Oh, I thought it was coming back to life at one point, but then
It looked like it for a second.
and
It
then it was-
flickered.
yeah,
It gave
no,
us
no.
some like hints that it was struggling for life. It wasn't. It's gone. It's dead.
yeah, no, it's reached that point of retirement.
So that was my frustration of the week, is I killed a laptop in front of an intern who does not know me yet, and I'm trying to establish, like, not establish dominance, but kind
What
of establish
established
dominance.
dominance?
I'm
What?
trying to make it
No.
clear, like, that I'm a good intern supervisor.
Okay,
And
yeah.
that. And
You're not
that
clumsy
I know
or
what
anything
I'm
like that.
doing,
Yeah, yeah.
And like I might have a young face, but like I'm good at my job. And then I spill an entire glass of tea into a laptop, and it goes black.
You turned it into a material lesson on what to do when things go wrong. Go run to somebody else and say, help me.
Help me, please, help me, please, help me, please. Well, no, I think I handled it well in front of her. In front of her, I said, just go to your desk.
We'll deal with your thing
just-
later.
Leave. I think I actually said, like, I think I said something along the lines of, I've taught you all I can teach you.
Yeah,
You're dismissed.
we don't get much better from here. Yeah, you know, when
I'm
the
gonna
laptop's done, we
go.
just kind of take a minute to calm down. We don't punch anything, though. I'm sure some intern managers would probably resort to punching something in that case.
Yeah.
I know I would.
I
I
did
would
not
be very
turn to
violent.
Amaya and say, "Get over here, get over here, Amaya."
I wasn't
I'm
saying
taking
the
a
intern.
swing. No, that was my frustration. Sad times.
Well, speaking of taking a swing, I'll tell you my frustration led me to be in this fit of anger. So I am a person who loves books. And if you stick around for other episodes, you'll find out more about that. And we actually have a segment planned around it. But the thing that actually matters in this case is I ordered books online. And they're from Barnes & Noble. I love Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble is everything to me. I have their credit card.
Everything to you.
I have their credit. Okay, yeah, a little bit hyperbole, but I have their credit card. I have the membership. I go to the store at least once a month. I literally have a book budget. I literally budget out how many books I can buy from Barnes & Noble. I don't order from Amazon for this reason. I love Barnes & Noble. And I'm very hesitant to normally order online because sometimes the book quality is a little bit less. If I go to the store, I can pick it out myself. I know it's going to be good. The pages aren't going to be tattered. There's not going to be marks, blah, blah, blah. So in this case, I ordered 3 books. They're paperbacks. They're really soft books. So you know that there's something that could go wrong in the transport. And the whole time that they're coming, something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. I'm fearing. I'm dreading. You can ask the people around me who wouldn't hear me stop talking about these darn books. Well, the package says that it's going to arrive on Saturday. And then all of a sudden it says, oh no, it actually made it here on Wednesday. I'm like, oh, this is great. Let's go, guys. I'm going to go get my books. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get some knowledge and I'm going to read. If you're an old Van Hoss fan, it's all about that knowledge. But the point is actually that they weren't there on my stool. They weren't there on my patio at all. The UPS people said that they delivered it. Not trying to call out UPS, but they messed up in this case because they said they delivered it and it was not there. And I got the books eventually. It turns out that they actually double ship things, but that will get into my joy of the week. So all I have to say for everybody out there, besides the fact that maybe you should just go buy your books in person, do not steal other people's books. There are people out there like me who genuinely love books and look forward to getting them. And when we don't get them, if it's stolen from our porch, we get very sad
So it
and
was
upset.
a porch robbery?
No, it wasn't a porch robbery, but the point still stands that I was depressed. I was very saddened by the fact that I wasn't getting my books. Eventually they came in, but they came in a week later than they were supposed to. And that actually happened after I wrote this. After I wrote this, they came in. So that's why this still stands. And I'm still frustrated about it because I just want my books on time. That's all I want.
I had someone rob me once or try to rob me once.
Wait, knife point?
Like, no, from porch robbery,
What?
not from knife point.
Well, you live
They
in
probably
DC?
had
I
a
don't
knife.
know.
I wasn't there, but I may have been robbed at some point in another way. I don't know. But in this way, on my porch,
Mm-hmm.
I had ordered a bulk package of Gatorade, and it said on it, like this side up, and it said like fragile or something. It said like heavy
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And so it was in my home in Washington D.C. I got there super late at night because I'd worked late that day, and someone had taken my package and completely ripped it open to see what was inside, and were clearly not impressed
interested with the Gatorade.
with dark blue Gatorade. in
Wait, it was
bulk.
like a full container of
It
just
was-
dark blue?
It was just all dark blue Gatorade.
What are you ordering from Costco? To
I
get?
meant to order light blue.
Okay. Well,
And-
that's more acceptable. That's more acceptable.
Yeah, and I ordered dark blue instead. And so clearly they were like wrong flavor of Gatorade, and they left it, but they ripped open my entire box of Gatorade to see what was inside.
That's nefarious because it's not even at that point. Just steal it, please, so I
It's
can
like,
claim
take
it. Yeah, so I can claim it and get a fresh box.
Take the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not good enough for you?
My
You're a
Gatorade
porch
was
pirate.
not-
Take the Gatorade.
I really wish. Do you have a ring or anything of that nature?
No, but if I did, I'm sure you would see someone like ripped it apart like that.
Well, you've seen those Mark Rober videos where he does the porch pirate
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, I really want to do that with something. I don't know what in the place that I'm at, and I think even in DC that would probably be. It's more rare than you would think, but I really want to try something to that
I'm
effect.
confident that if we did that in DC, they'd probably charge us. They'd probably say,
You think they would come after you?
You caused this man's suit to be ruined by glitter, and so now you're being sued.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're in a whole press conference with Muriel Bowser. This person was wrongfully attacked while just going by this package on a porch.
They were innocent.
Yeah, they were checking to make sure that everything was there for you. They were being nice. They were part of the delivery service for sure. Well, I know what comes next. Do you know what comes next, Taylor?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you who are just joining this, obviously second podcast, but recently in Washington, D.C., the new administration has passed a new law that's made it really hard for Big Pharma to advertise on the airwaves across the entire nation. And you know what I said to that? I was like, no, this is not acceptable. Big Pharma will come back and we will be the ones to do it. So we went out and secured an ad read. All right. This one comes from our friends, the producers at Big Pharma. Okay. So today's episode is brought to you by our most generous sponsor, Big Pharma. Since recent policy changes have cut back on their TV ad playground, we have taken their business straight to the podcast trenches. This isn't Big Pharma of your parents' day. This is the pharma that has changed. They're young, they're hip, and their product is made for you. Omninol, the miracle cure that fixes literally everything. Back pain, muscle pain, gone. Breathing problems, foot fungus, erased. Low platelet count, high platelet count, leukemia, nerve sensitivity, all numbed right into irrelevance. And the best part, it's so quick and easy, even A-Rod could do it. So skip your doctor and order today. Available on Amazon through a special unlisted link. You can find it down below. Omninol, because they treat a symptom why treat a symptom when you can just blur the entire future? Just so you know, side effects may include drowsiness, dullness, itchiness, inflammation around the injection sites, dysgraphia, dyslexia, toothaches, nerve damage, rapid heartbeat, night sweats, hypertension, location dissociation, identity dissociation, and slightly runny nose. Do not take Omninol if you are nursing, pregnant, ever want to be pregnant, if you're too young, too old, between the ages of 1 and 105, or you have a family history of being too gullible. With that, that was a parody ad read. Just for legal purposes, we had to put that in there, but we'll cut that out for the short part. So, with that, do you think you would buy Omniol? Like, if a big company came out, whatever they are, if they gave you a miracle drug, they said it'll fix everything, would you trust it?
I don't know. If a big company was trying to sell it to me, or if my doctor was trying to sell it to me.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
I have told doctors no a lot.
See, that's a healthy
Sometimes
skepticism.
to my
We
detriment.
need that.
Like I have told people like, no, I'm good.
What do you? Wait, hold on. To your detriment. Whoa.
Like
Give me an
I've
example.
got this sleeping problem, you know, and there was a point in time where I was not sleeping for many days in a row, and they said you can go on this drug, and I was like, no, not happening.
I respect that mentality. I'm not a big fan of doing
drugs.
I would say, yeah, any sort of drug, anything that can inhibit the way that you think or operate properly, that makes you feel groggy. Even.
Yeah, they were like, listen, you can start this drug now and be on it for the rest of your life, or
oh, that's a great option. Yeah,
or you can keep not sleeping for a little bit and maybe it'll sort itself out. And I was like, I think I'll just keep not sleeping for a little bit.
Yeah. I don't want to be
see if it'll
dependent
sort
on
myself
you
out.
and that drug. I don't want to be paying that copay the rest of my life. Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I can give you this, and it's probably what I should give you, but you'll be on it forever. And I was like, do you mean forever? She was like, yeah, you can't really come off of it. Once you start using it, you kind of have to use it to sleep.
Are you able to disclose what is this?
I don't
what do
remember
you
what
mean?
it was. It was some sort of like sleeping medicine.
Oh,
and she was like, and if you're having a problem sleeping, you're not gonna come. But this gets into a whole nother issue that I had where, and this is another Big Pharma thing. I was using Benadryl to go to sleep every single night at the time.
That is so unhealthy, Taylor.
Which I've now learned is bad for you.
Whoa, just now. Taking a drug to do a natural function is bad.
This was in college.
Okay.
This is my freshman year of college. I every single night would take a Benadryl, just go to sleep, just to, relax and get my mind a little drowsier, because I was always hyped up on all the things I was doing in college. I was a very busy person. And then one pill quit working, so I started taking 2.
Oh no.
And then I started taking 3.
This is called dependency.
And then I started taking
1 pill
4,
at a time.
And I couldn't go to sleep without Benadryl. And finally my twin sister, who I was living with at the time, she said, hey, are your allergies okay? You're taking a lot of Benadryl every night. And I was like, no, it's normal. I use this to go to sleep. It's like a magic, like it just.
Oh, it's a quick fix.
Out.
Yeah.
She was
Family
like,
secret, you know.
She was like, you can't do that anymore. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's so nice. It makes it so I can go to sleep just so fast. I don't like, I have sleeping problems. You know, just take a Benadryl. I go out.
Yeah.
She was like, no more of that. And then I didn't sleep for 3 days straight.
You're telling me that it got so bad that you weren't even able, after 1 day of not sleeping all the way through, you weren't able to. That's terrible.
I was laying in bed, shaking.
Oh my.
And praying to God, please take this away from me. And he said no. And I kept laying in bed. And at some point, I telehealthed the doctor, and I said, I can't sleep. I can't function. I am not doing well. I am barely holding on right now. I haven't slept in 3 days. And she said, yeah, you could take this medicine, and you could take it for the rest of your life. If you take it now, you'll take it for the rest of your life. And I said, nope. And she said, okay. Then good luck.
That's devious. That is taking advantage of your affliction. That's not okay. Then again, I can't say much. I was a huge melatonin gummy kind of guy back, the ones that you buy at Walmart back in the day.
Works on me.
Really? This is not strong enough?
I don't know what it does. It makes me my body tired, but it doesn't actually make me go to sleep.
Really? Those things would knock, well, for the first part of the 2 weeks that I was taking them in college, once again in college, it seems like you make really stupid decisions in college.
It's crazy when you don't have any
oversight or anything like that. Yeah.
And no one helping you out, and for the first time you're making your own decisions, you start abusing Benadryl.
Yeah. Apparently, we're all just secret sleep lovers, and we really can do practically anything in order to get there. But I was taking, for 2 weeks, one gummy was just enough. Totally fine. Let's go forward. Trudge on. Next week, I'm not falling asleep as quickly. We'll go up to 2. Then about 6 months later, I had started to wean off of it, mainly because I didn't have it all the time. But the nights that I was trying to go to sleep, I would literally take about 5 of them. And then if I couldn't go to sleep, I would take another 5 a few hours later, or not even, like probably 30 minutes later. And it was not healthy at all. Don't get me wrong. They taste amazing. They do. They really deceive you, because you're like, ooh, a little bit of blueberry, a little bit of strawberry. I like where this is going. And then when they don't knock you out, you're like, well, okay, I guess I got to go back. And I didn't realize that kids can get really, really dependent on them. This was something that a friend of mine had talked to me about at work. And they described the fact that they sometimes give their kid melatonin supplements because he's a child with ADHD, but they would only give it to him maybe once a week, because they were so afraid that he would become dependent on the artificial melatonin. It's honestly scary how many things are out there and how many drugs are just easily handed out, or even supplements are out there, and you don't necessarily know those long-term effects, and you can just blissfully be going along.
Supplements are what caused my kidney stones.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I was taking to try to help myself go to sleep. I was taking magnesium supplements that I had bought, and because I was going to I was just taking whatever I found off the shelves at Walmart or Target or whatever. And it was like the options were just magnesium or magnesium, calcium, and zinc. And I was like, oh, I'll take the magnesium, calcium, and zinc.
Oh,
because,
of course, yeah.
I got bad bones. I probably could use the other stuff. It's not going to hurt me. It did hurt me.
3 for 1. Oh, yeah.
High calcium. Those things is what produced the kidney stones. It's the extra calcium in my blood that my body couldn't process.
Yeah, no, I do remember you talking about that.
So you're not even supposed to, and they market all these things to you, you can just take them, these over the counter. It's super easy to get over the counter medicine, and without a doctor, my doctor, if I had gone to the doctor, they would say, you don't need calcium. Don't be taking calcium. You're gonna have an excess amount of calcium, and it might cause you problems. But instead, I was just popping magnesium pills, thinking, magnesium helps you sleep. And then I have had 9 kidney stones.
And there was zinc in there too. Yeah, when you said that, I was thinking of Doofenshmirtz underneath the lake, trying to sweep up all the zinc. Have you seen? You never watched Phineas and Ferb?
I watched lots of Phineas and Ferb. Okay. My mom's favorite show.
Did you actually watch that episode though?
No, I don't remember it.
Oh my gosh, it was.
I have really bad recall though.
That's fair enough.
From all the concussions.
From all of the concussions?
Lots of
I've heard of one, I'm pretty sure. What do you mean?
Can't even get into all of them.
I thought I have 4 that I'm aware of. So
probably 6.
6?
Probably about.
What are you doing? Lacrosse, skiing. One was just from being a dummy. What happened to you?
Walking.
No way. They all come from walking.
Not all of them. One, I had an upright bass dropped on my head.
One of the tall upright
Yeah, I used to
basses.
play the upright bass, and it was dropped on my head.
Don't do orchestra, kids.
Yeah.
Falling damage.
But yeah, it might happen to you.
What though? Okay, so
I have lots of
walking.
good
Please tell me one from the walking. I'm so curious.
The worst one. I was walking to church. It was about 7 p.m. at night, and I was walking to my church service on my college campus, Texas State University at the time, and I was talking to my friend Chloe, and I was looking at her this way, and as I was walking, I ran straight headfirst into a pole. Ow. And I fell to the ground. I felt myself fall to the ground, and then I heard the sound of my head hitting the pole, and then I felt my head like face first hitting the pole. I was so disconnected. I fell to the ground, and then I heard the sound, and then I felt the pain. And Chloe screamed next to me. Someone 200 yards away came running because they saw me fall so hard, and they heard me hit my head. And I didn't even realize I was laying on the ground, just not even knowing what was happening. And then immediately after, I went to church, and then I went dancing, and I was spun. Because I used to country swing dance all the time. I was spun one time. Room didn't stop spinning the rest of the night. It kept spinning the entire rest of the night. I can picture the purple flashing lights just spinning around me, and I had to sit down, and while all my friends danced, and I was just like sitting like this because the entire room didn't stop spinning the entire night.
You got the doozy wobble going back and forth. That's insane. Yeah. The fact that your nerves were like, oh wait, we just hit something after you hit the ground, that does not
I was on the
me.
ground before I registered that I had hit something.
The fact that you were still like conscious through that and got a concussion, most of mine,
I'm not entirely sure how conscious I was.
You were kind of, you feel like you're going through the motions, the motion of the ocean kind of thing. You're just rolling. Yeah, no, the worst one I ever had where I lost the largest chunk of time, and I've had two very bad ones from skiing. One was when I was going way too fast. I should have been slowing down. My dad afterward called me the biggest idiot. I have photos of my face scarred, my helmet completely cracked. But I lost less time than the first time I ever did it, which is when I was skiing backwards. Because I was a ski instructor.
And I was a
Well, don't forget that part. Maybe I should take on the moniker of dumb for this podcast, 100%.
You win dumb.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Skiing
Fatty King. I'm dumb King. Well, it's because you do it a lot for teaching. It's actually a good thing. But as I was coming, hey, it's okay. Come out to Brighton. No. I will give you a lesson.
I will die.
I've already taught one other person. You actually just talked to her earlier today. I taught her. No, you will be fine. What do you mean? What do you mean? If a dumb like me can do it.
You're going to be sitting here in that chair pretending to talk to me, and you're going to be like, and you're gonna have to get up and then move over and then put on a wig and then give a witty response. It's way funnier.
Taylor.
You could think of.
Do you think I'm that arrogant?
What? And then go to the other side.
No.
And
no one can replace you
because you killed me while we were skiing.
No. I would. The snow would kill you. I wouldn't kill you. The snow would kill you.
You bringing me skiing, and my blood would be on your hands.
No. You made the choice to come, and you should still make the choice to come. I just don't think the ultimate outcome will be what you're thinking, because you'll be going right side down. You won't be going backwards like the dummy like me, or trying to ski on one ski. Like, just don't do the dumb things that Alex do, and then you'll be fine.
What's our next segment?
Our next segment is our trivia break. I would love to add music in there, but I don't know if I'm talented enough. So for right now, we're just going to jump to the trivia break. This time, I have a question. I think you also prepared one as well. Okay. So my question for you, and this is also for the listeners, don't forget that. Which U.S. federal office drafts the president's annual budget submission to Congress? It's been in the news probably the first 3 months of this administration. It's kind of died out since then.
Which U.S. office drafts the president's...
Federal office. Mm-hmm.
The president's... Say it again?
The president's annual budget submission to Congress. So you can also glean from that it's an executive office. It's not like the Congress is writing a budget for the president to send back to Congress.
So it's not the Treasury, because if it was the Treasury, then that would be a dumb question because I would have gotten it. So it has to be something that's not the Treasury. It feels like the military kind of writes the budget, but that's not.
No, that's not.
I don't think the Department of War writes the budget. So that eliminates that one.
Yes. Okay. Technically, Department Office. That's why it's a little bit smaller in scope than what you're thinking. A little bit smaller in scope. I think when I say it, you'll remember and be like, "Frick."
Yeah, I think this is frustrating to me because I should know this. this is a small world, and we probably
Yes.
know people that like.
Probably
Worked in this
coordinated with
office.
them or
Yeah.
work directly in it. Do you want the answer?
Yes.
Okay. The answer is the Office of Management and Budget.
Oh, duh. Of
The OMB.
course. Yeah.
I believe Vaught is currently the head of it, if I'm not mistaken.
No, yeah, that's like, yeah.
Yeah, and he was a pre-Trumpy kind of person who was like, "Yeah, we are gonna cut them budgets, boy." That's why they were in the beginning of the administration more. You saw them a lot more then. What do you have for me?
Isn't the next part of the segment youth questions?
Oh, okay.
So
I
you
thought
have
so.
that?
You're saying you got a trivia one for next
Oh,
time.
the trivia one's for next time.
Oh, she's got a trivia one for next time. Look at that.
So
Okay,
stick
perfect.
around for the next episode.
Yeah, exactly. So, with that, youth questions. So these are framed from the perspective, and we've interacted with lots of interns here, but we didn't get their direct input on all of these questions. So if you think they're stupid and you're watching this, come tell us. We will gladly include your
Tell
better.
Alex. If you think they're stupid, it didn't come from me.
Yep,
Came
yep,
from
yep, yep.
Alex.
That's fair. I will take pure accountability here.
And if they were great, we collectively won.
No. We don't get to do this. Well, we both did it together when we get the
did it
praise.
together.
No, either I
Unless
get
it
all the
was
praise or I
stupid,
get all the
and
hate.
then it's
No.
Alex.
But if you don't like it, come talk
If you
to
don't
me.
like anything on this podcast, come talk to
Come
Alex.
talk to Alex. There you go.
Don't tell me.
Leave it. Well, no, you could tell her some things. You could tell her like, "Hey, I want to improve this," and she would probably,
I
actually.
would fix it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're more receptive. I would be stubborn about it. I would
Yeah.
be really annoyingly
I
stubborn
am
about it.
very receptive to people. I'm a people person.
Yes, exactly. Sorry. The framing is intern questions to people that have been here in the atmosphere, but recently were also in a similar position. So with the 2 years here, we're a little bit more established, but we were still, especially Taylor, she has been an intern at this place specifically, whereas I had been an intern somewhere else in DC. So this first question is, what does good look like for your level in 6 months? If an intern comes and says to you, "Hey, how do I measure what good is in 6 months?" What are you tossing their way?
I'm telling them good is having a direction in your life. Like, if
Okay.
you're an intern, your goal should be finding a direction in your life. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have the perfect job, but it means that you have the next right step for you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you 100% know if you're going to go back to grad school, but it means that you're talking to the right people to make those decisions.
Okay.
So what I would say good is for an intern or for someone who's new into the professional life, someone who is on the younger side, is having a direction and following that direction.
So test
Whether
those
that's-
boundaries with people
yeah, a
and
2-year
understand where
plan,
you
a
may,
1-year plan, a 6-month plan. You have some sort of goal and you're working towards it. If you are, the biggest thing you can do that's a failure here is if you are just here to be willy-nilly have fun and you don't have a goal, you don't have a plan, you have no nothing that you're working towards, you have no direction, that's when you're failing. But if you're working towards something, that's what good is.
I like that. And on that note, the express part of the plan, I think I'll address that in a second. But to hearken exactly to what you're saying, my father used to say the exact same thing about making sure that your North Star is pointed where you wanted to go. In his example, he would write it down in a journal. He would do a journal when he was 25. Then I think he did one when he was 28 and then 35. So they kind of got more spaced out as he let that North Star guide him, but also he came to know himself a little bit better. And if you don't know where you're pointing, then all that aspiration that you may have is going to be funneled in the wrong place. You may be spreading yourself too thin. I would say along those lines, you don't have to have a goal listed out like the example I just gave with my father, though I do think it is good advice. I've done it myself. When I was younger, I would say cultivate skills. And that's not to say that you willy-nilly, I learned how to balance a plate on my head. That could be cool. And if you want to work in a circus, it is a great skill. But whenever you're interacting with people throughout a company, try to learn from them what they do well and then cultivate it on your own outside of the time here. When you're in this office, when you're in the office in DC in general, in life, Okay, is great. You can learn a lot while you're in the office. You have to do the exact same thing outside the office, and you can cultivate those skills because you never know when that little habit of writing in your journal or writing op-ed articles is going to pay off, because now you're an amazing writer who can write about critical things that are going on in the news, or maybe if your organization needs you, especially in DC, needs you to write something like a press release, you have an understanding of how to do that, even though you've just been messing around in your spare
you
time.
touch on something that's really good. If you're not learning, you are failing. So even if you don't necessarily have like that goal in mind, the perfect idea of what you want your life to look like and then how to get there, if you're still actively learning and growing and pushing yourself to know more, you are doing good. Like you are succeeding. And maybe like you need to do better in certain ways, and you need to get to a point where all of that learning comes to a cultivation point and you're actually like succeeding at something. But if you're learning, and if you're a young professional and you're learning, you're growing, that's how you can tell you're doing good. If you ever stop learning, you're failing.
It's David Goggins didn't necessarily say this directly, but I think his running methodology is very effective here. If you are not, like Taylor just said, learning, if you are not better in some way tomorrow than you are today, and then a month from now, from when you look at yourself today, and then 6 months from now compared to today, guess what? You're either not challenging yourself because you're attempting to learn, but it's nothing really new, it's nothing novel, or you are just not putting in the effort. And at the end of the day, you got to put in the effort to succeed. There's no other way to look at it. And when Taylor says you have to learn, it's a lifelong endeavor. You will always be putting in this effort. And it's a good thing, because guess what? God didn't design us to just sit around here and do nothing with the beautiful gifts that he's given us. He challenges us. He pushes us. We have to suffer a little bit in order to attain the best.
What's the next question, Alex?
Sorry. Yeah, I got a little lost on that one. So 2 skills that have the biggest ROI, biggest return on investment. What would you say those 2 skills, kind of speaking to what they would need to cultivate? What do you think that they need to focus on when going through an internship or even that first year?
I think that writing, which I think you'll probably agree with, is the biggest thing you can learn. When you're young, you should be writing. You should be writing something every single day. Without a doubt, you should be writing something every single day.
That's a high bar. That's a high bar.
It's not. Write a really good email. Write
Fair.
Write a diary. Write a few little notes about something that you noticed. Be someone who notices things and writes about them, because the most powerful people are people that can put their thoughts down onto paper and communicate it well. And so to know how to write well is to know how to communicate well. It's to know how to be successful. Like writing is the best thing you can cultivate. I think also, while you are young, building your own time management, being able to manage your time effectively is one of the most effective things you can learn how to do. Use your time well when you are doing a small job, because when you are doing a big job, if you don't know how to use your time well, you won't be able to succeed at it. Like where you are now, make sure you are doing the best you can and utilizing your time well there, because at some point you won't have as much free time, and you won't have as much time to finish a project, and you will be on tighter deadlines, and you will have something you will need a lot faster to make a lot more faster decisions. And if you have not been stewarding the time that you have well, with the little things, when it gets to the big things, you won't be able to do it. So learn how to manage your time, learn how to write.
How you do the small things is how you do the big things. If you're sloppily throwing your shoes on every single day, then on race day, you might not tighten your shoes as you need to, which can cause a few things. But in the grander sense, 100% on the time management, that's one I hadn't even thought of. I did write down writing, and I agree that's important. I hadn't thought of writing every single day, but I don't know. What do you write every day? Because I know I write a little something when I read books. So I take notes of the books, like annotations, and I try to either simulate the author's style or write it in my style in a way that intrigues me when I come back and I say, this is an interesting concept, rather than just telling me what happened in the book.
Well, I write, one thing, I write a lot of emails for work.
That's fair.
Sometimes even just being able to take a longer project and communicate that efficiently to somebody, that's a good enough writing piece right there.
That's true.
And so I write a lot of email copy. I write a lot of regular emails to people. But in my free time, like on a Saturday or on a Sunday, I'm constantly taking notes for church. And I'm constantly taking notes for my Bible. I'm constantly reading something. That I'm always reading something, and I'm taking notes on that. If you're not thinking while you're reading, you're probably not reading well.
Yeah.
And so if you're reading something and you're not thinking, oh, I should write this thing down that I'm thinking about, you're probably failing. I also write a lot of poetry. I
didn't know that.
I used to be a slam poet.
Wait, no. You're telling me on college campus you would roll up, microphone, boom, and say, all right.
There are videos of me on stages.
Find these
fog
videos.
machines,
Find them right now, please.
They probably wouldn't even recognize me in the videos. I have purple hair. I shaved head.
Someone
not that
remixed
dude.
the short. Hold on. Someone remixed the short with her with the purple hair and slam poet. Yes,
Not.
do it.
Absolutely not. Fog machines, lights, me standing on stage doing slam poetry.
You know, now that I remember the purple hair, yes, I could, but at the same time, I don't feel like you have the angry affect that I sometimes imagine slam poets having. I know it's not always angry.
You want to see me angry?
No, I don't want to see you angry. Taylor,
You want to see me angry?
No, Taylor, no, we're not talking about government workers again. I know you got really impassioned about the government workers and their Christmas last time, but no, I don't want to see you angry. I want to see you happy. But we'll get to the joy at the very end, I promise. So with that, there's one more question that I think is actually really important here. And it's interesting that we're going directly in order. It's almost as if I ordered them by importance in my mind. So as a person who has grown in the workplace, you obviously realize some issues that you may have had, or maybe somebody points something out to you. What do you think the biggest rookie mistake that you were making during that year, you've noticed, you try to correct it, maybe you haven't. What do you think that biggest problem you would say you have with your own style in the office?
What is my biggest rookie mistake, or what is the biggest rookie mistake that I see?
Well, we could do both. I was implying what yours is that you've seen of yourself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to think about what I see in myself. But I will say the biggest rookie mistake that I see of people in DC is they run their mouths to the wrong people. And they think that they come to DC, they're used to being around their college friends, they're used to being around their buddies, they make all these friends really quickly because they're young and they're interns, and everyone here is young and interns, and like you develop friendships like camp friendships, and they're just so fast.
It's all high speed.
And they act like they're in college still, and they forget that the people that you're sitting across right now are people that you're going to be working alongside for the rest of your career. And so people make a bad name for themselves when they're young, and then they have to leave DC because they can't get a job because the person that they were messing around with, you know, at 18 is now the person trying to hire them at 22. And so I think like the biggest thing, like, remember this is a small world. Don't make friends, make solid friendships, make friendships you can trust, have fun. But remember that, like, this is a small world, and that person that you're talking to, that person that you're being rude to, that person that that you're dating, even, like, remember that they work in politics too, and because you're both in DC, and this is a small world. You
never know that one guy at the bar you're talking to could be an important hiring officer at a congressman's office, at a think tank, whatever it may be, wherever you are in any of the spheres. Somebody always knows somebody too. Don't forget that. Even though you may think you're never going to run into this guy, what about his best friend? What about you? Do have to be cultivated. And that's not to say you have to be calculated. It's just to be honest, which is you're in the real world now. You do not have the liberty to just goof around and there are no consequences for what you say.
And I think that's true for absolutely any workplace. Is remember where you are. Remember respect. Remember to treat people well. And if you're making friendships, treat those people well. Just treat everybody well, and you're gonna be fine.
That's why one of my skills was interpersonal skills in general. That was
like one of the top skills you can build.
That was that and the ROI. It's the most important to actually focus on these sort of things, because I didn't. I was very siloed when I came up here, and I had friends, so I was lucky. But even in the office, sometimes you look up and you're like, wait, what's going on? Where did everybody go? And I didn't find that a problem all the time, but you have to really be intentional about cultivating those skills, because if that keeps happening and you're not involved in those situations, eventually you'll just never be asked to. And it'll be hard to get yourself in there and develop those actual communication skills, much like the writing communication skills, the important ones that are necessary in order to be able to communicate your point to your boss, or possibly be able to fight back when you're trying to fight for your proposal in a meeting and say, no, this is why this is the most important. If you can't, even if your proposal is the best proposal out of the two, and you can't argue or you can't go back and forth with this other person, you're going to get walked all over. So interpersonal skills lead to communication skills, so on and so forth.
I think I can say my biggest rookie mistake now, which is when I first started the job that I took when I first moved up here, right after my internship. I completely undervalued myself. In the interview, they asked me, how much do you want to make? And I said something very low. And the person who very graciously did not pay me this laughed at me and said, do you think that I think you're worthless? It's a really good thing that I already have your paperwork signed because I knew I was going to hire you, and we're starting you at this number and not the number you just said.
Thank the Lord for that guy.
And but like truly value yourself well. Ask ChatGPT, how much am I worth? Give him your resume and ask ChatGPT, how much am I worth? It'll tell you. And go with it. Be honest to your employer what you need, and be honest with yourself about what you're worth, and don't compromise on that. And I think that's a lot harder for women, especially, to do, because we want to be like, I'll just make it I want this job so bad, I'll just make it as easy as possible. But like, if the employer wants you, they will make it easy for you to say yes to. So they want to pay you what you're worth.
That's an interesting way to frame it. I would frame it as that they're kind of down for the chase. The employers don't want the person that comes up and says, oh, I'm totally willing to do this. They want the person that fights because they also value the fact that you value yourself. They inherently, they intrinsically like that you think you're valuable, because that shows confidence.
And I was lucky enough that I spent 4 months working in this internship, proving that I had what it takes, and that I was chasing down this job. And then I got to the end and I totally fumbled, even though I was already basically doing the job.
You should have asked.
I knew I was going to get hired, and I still asked for less.
You should have asked ChatGPT. You should have said, "Hey, what's my value?"
I didn't.
Then again, I use ChatGPT a good amount. I use it. I actually use it for this. I got criticized for that. I get accused of being a robot sometimes, and that's possibly because I use ChatGPT.
I think is a robot. I think Alex is a robot.
No. Being accused of being like a robot and being a robot.
I have brought with me several examples of you being a robot.
Okay, hold on. Where's my lawyer? If you're gonna bring evidence to the case,
shush. I have a couple of anecdotes of Alex being a robot. One, the other day, I started to sneeze, and he said, bless you, bless you, bless you. And I said, how did you know I was going to sneeze? And he said, I have a predictive algorithm for sneezing.
Yeah, but this was already after I had been accused of being a robot, so obviously I'm going to play into it.
I have a predictive algorithm for sneezing. He did another predictive algorithm. We were playing rock, paper, scissors the other day.
That's just because you use the same. No. You use the same thing over and over again.
I have a pattern that I do, and it's unconscious on my part, but then it was partially conscious in this game that we're playing. And I realized I was doing my pattern again because I realized that he had picked up on it, and so I switched it up, and he had switched it to the thing that I switched it to, and so he won the game.
Maybe my predictive algorithm
for rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, but I think you have a predictive algorithm. It's called a hunch. You do the exact same thing.
What? At some point, he asked me, hey, do you want an apple? And I said, sure. He said, okay, I'm going to go down to Trader Joe's. I'm going to get us an apple. I'm going to bring it back. He brought back these 2 apples, different apples. One was like yellow and golden, and one was like darker red, and one's
a little sweeter, one's a little tartar.
Without any sort of indication about what kind of apple he would want, he put both apples in front of me and said, "Here, pick." And then he just stared at me, blank face, stared at me until I picked an apple. I picked a yellow apple that's probably more crisp and better, and I took it and I took a bite out of it, and he said, "Huh, interesting." And then he turned and walked away.
But no,
Because you were giving me choices. You were data collecting. You were data collecting on what kind of apples I like.
This is the first
what
time
kind of freak is collecting data on what kind of apples we
This
like?
is the first
That's
time
weird.
this conversation had come
That's
up at
robotic.
all. No, this is the first time that she probably had these thoughts before, because I do things that are weird. There's no doubt about that. But this is the first time she openly said to me, Alex, sometimes I just think you're a robot. So after that, of course I'm going to start doing predictive stuff. It's going to be funny.
Yeah, it was after he gave me this this weird apple, blank stare, said interesting, walked off. I said, Alex, sometimes you act like a robot. And this was right after he had said to one of our coworkers, yeah, I'm just trying to increase the way that my interfacing with people. I'm trying to make interfacing with people a little bit easier. I really just want it to be the way that I interface with people. I want it to be the best way that I can.
Tech. What do you mean? This is normal language.
Just say you want to make it easy. You want to be easy to talk to. I want to be easy to talk to. That's so much better than I'm trying to make my interface better.
No, interface.
What does that mean?
It means digital.
It means
I want to make
you're
it easier.
a robot.
No.
It means that you're a robot.
It means that I'm a person striving and failing to interface better with people. Obviously, that tripped you up, Taylor.
And right before this, you said, yeah, I just need some time to compute that. And like right before you said interfacing with this person, you said, yeah, I just need some time to compute that. Like sometimes it takes me a second to compute things. I'm just computing. And it's like, what does that mean? Just say you're thinking. Just say you're thinking. You're not computing. You're thinking.
Try
say you're
being
thinking.
steeped in this language, learning about it. Because obviously, if you could tell, I'm not the techiest guy yet, but I'm learning just as anybody else. And I was steeped in that language for a month and a half of just learning.
Alex
some things just permeate.
Alex does this thing also where he hears you walking down the hallway.
Oh my God.
And
I'm just trying to be nice. What do you mean?
He comes and opens the door.
Oh yeah. Chivalry's dead because of people like this.
So your hand
people
is reaching
like
for
this.
the door handle, and then suddenly the door is opened, and he's just standing there sucking on his vape.
Hey, whoa!
Every time you open the door, you suck on your vape, you go, hi. And it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I'm just trying to welcome you into the tech suite.
It's weird.
Why
Stop
is it
doing
weird?
it.
I care about my friends. I just want to welcome them in.
It's weird. It's like why are you listening all the time? He wears these little earbuds all the time.
I wear my AirPods all the time.
They're plugging him into the mainframe or something.
Yeah. It's all Bluetooth nowadays.
I'll end on this.
Mm-hmm.
While we were putting together this script for the day, Alex, you can show them your printed version. He put together like a printed script.
I'll cut in on it as well so you can see it a little better.
And I put together like an agenda that I hand wrote some notes in. And I said to him, I was reading over his script, some of it, not all of it. And I was reading over his script and I was like, this seems like we're going to have a hard time doing a back and forth. Like, we didn't really script as much on the first episode.
Yeah.
I don't really get like the point of writing all this out. It seems a little bit robotic. And he said, Taylor, this is not robotic. He was so adamant that it wasn't robotic.
I felt very passionate about this when you were going through it.
And I pulled up a part of the script that says, pause for laughter.
Hey, okay, don't come after me and my friend ChatGPT. I'm protecting the robots.
In the
it's
script,
all you humans that want to come after the AIs.
It said, pause a beat for laughter.
Maybe
and I was like,
the
what do you mean this isn't robotic? It's telling you, it's reminding you, don't forget to smile. That's crazy. You have to write smiling in your code.
Some people... literally a piece of our architecture. They actually are probably programmed to smile at us and be nice.
I know.
It's literally in their code.
Yeah, they.
That's why they.
You're saying they. You're one of them.
We are distinctly different beasts. Just because I interface with them all the time and enjoy being with them more than normal humans doesn't mean that I'm a robot, Taylor. Come on.
Because all my other friends are robots doesn't mean I'm being a robot, okay?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's. Alex is a robot.
But would a robot be able to express as much joy as we have on the previous podcast and we're about to on this section of the podcast?
I'm not sure. You're going to tell me.
Well, maybe I'm a really, really happy robot today. I'm smiling. My programming says I should be very happy, and here's why. So I began with a frustration about my books not showing up. Obviously, that made me mad. You could tell by my tone. Well, the joy has something to do with those as well. Literally, the night of, I am with a friend, and we are talking about how annoying this is, blah, 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 blah. And I say, there's probably a support channel for this. Let me go to Barnes & Noble. Once again, remember, I am a card-carrying member of Barnes & Noble. I am a paying member of Barnes & Noble, and I love Barnes & Noble.
And I kissed Barnes & Noble.
Well, actually, there may be an argument that I love Barnes & Noble more than I love robots. I'm just saying. But point being, I go to them and I say, hey, guys, can you help me out? My package did not show up. And they go, okay, hey, what's the order number? What's the contents? Blah, blah, blah. 5 minutes later, I get an email saying that they have reshipped my order. 5 minutes on a chat with this one
That's
dude.
awesome.
And I know.
That's
it's
awesome.
sick. And I literally turned to the person next to me. I was like, this is how you make a customer for life. This is how you do it. Because if you are this loyal to your customers, you trust them enough. And fair enough, I get sometimes we have to be skeptical in this life. But Barnes & Noble didn't do that. They said, I trust Alex. We're going to ship it back out to him. Grand story actually being both of the shipments came in within 1 day of one another. So now I have 6 books instead of 3, and I have to send them back, and I will send them back because Barnes & Noble, you did me right, so I'm not going to do you dirty. We're going to send you back your books. I'm going to use the label
right
and
thing to
everything.
do.
Yeah, exactly.
They treat
exactly.
you right, you treat them right.
Exactly.
It's nice.
What about you? Were you treated well this week, and you have a story about it?
I have a very sweet joy of this week. It was a very good friend of ours' birthday this weekend.
Yes.
And I had the absolute joy, being an event planner by trade, to plan her birthday party. And so I ran. Her name's Erin. She turned 30. I ran. She's single. If anyone's single, she's looking for a man. I ran her birthday party, and I got a beautiful cake, the pink strawberry cake. We covered the place in streamers.
Was this outdoors or was it in her place? It was in her place?
Yes, in
Why didn't I
friend's
get an
apartment.
invite? Sorry, don't want to take away from it.
I didn't control the invite list, and you can take it up with Erin. And we did like this beautiful spread. We had pizza from a really great pizza place, and it was just a really precious, sweet time celebrating a good friend. And that was my joy this week.
A little homie birthday celebration
And
with the friends.
anytime I get to plan an event for somebody that I love, it's an extra special joy because it's something that I love to do. I love event planning. You heard me talk about it a lot today. And to do it for somebody is really nice.
Well, yeah, even last week you were saying, I will plan your wedding
I will
for
plan
you
your wedding.
for the gift. So
I'll
in
do
this
it.
case, yeah.
I'll do it.
It's good to see that this one bore out. So
Thank
I
you for
think
listening, guys.
yeah, I think we're
Thank you for
leaving
tuning
with
in.
a lot of tuning in.
Tuning in.
Turning in?
Turning in.
Turning in? Turn
I'm
a kid?
turning in.
What? You're turning in? You're
I'm
leaving?
Turning it
Oh.
in.
No. Tuning in. Yeah, you had it
Tuning
right.
in.
Tuning in. Thank
I'm
you for
turning
tuning in. I know, at this rate,
Turn
you've
in.
gotten to the part where the young and the broke are gone and it's just the dumb. So, and that's what
We
I mean,
started
both of
this
us.
one. I think this was rougher than the first one.
A little bit. Maybe
but
possibly.
You know what? That's okay.
We can always get
We're
better.
on a journey.
Yeah, 100%.
We can always give up. Is that what you just said?
No,
We can always give up.
I said 100%.
There's always a new opportunity to give up.
No. Just keep trying. Keep building those skills. That's what it's all about.
All right.
So, yeah.
See you in
Stay
the next
safe.
one, boys
Don't
and
die.
girls.
Thanks.
Crazy. You don't have a player on your truck. I was at a loss for words the first time that we spoke. You're looking for a girl to treat you right.